First, I'm going to go over what all of these charts mean, all these symbols. These four up here are showing them all separately, kind of all the different steps separately. And then this image here puts them all together. So I'll zoom in, go one by one. So up here at the top, right, left. So this first image indicates that between the hairline and the chin, there are these sections of the face that are broken up into 3 even spaces. I want you to take note that the hairline is not the tippy top of the head. The hairline goes a little bit down from the head because our heads are round and they get foreshortened. We have our forehead, and then a little bit further and up a little bit higher is actually the top of our head. So if that's to help you, you can put a little dot or line up here and say, or right top of head. And the hairline goes down a little bit further. From the hairline down here, we have the brow, like the eyebrows. And then from the brow to the next third, we have the tip of the nose. Then from the tip of the nose, we have the chin. So those 3 spaces should be equal. From the hairline to the chin, we have these 3 sections here. Okay, this next image is showing you that you should be able to fit 3 eyeballs across the face. So you'll have like one eyeball shape in the middle, and then that same shaped eyeball there on the left and right. So evenly spaced eyes that aren't too close or too far apart. And to keep it from getting too close or too far apart, you should be able to think that you can fit one other eye in the middle. Okay, now we're going to go to the bottom left. This one is the easiest one to figure out, and I always start with this first. The eyes, they line up in the middle of the top of the head to the chin. So this isn't the hairline up here, this is the top of the head. So if you need to write that down, again, you can. Top of head, and then the chin here on the bottom. And then the eyes go in the middle. So up here is half of the head, down here is half of the head. The eyes go in the middle. Okay, now let's look at the last image here. Okay, this image is going from the tip of the nose to the chin. So if you need to write that down to help you, tip of nose down to the chin. And if we break up that section into halves, it will show us that the lips, the bottom of the bottom lip, lines up with that halfway mark. Whoops. There we go. So this image here is pretty much just an add-on to this image up here. So this bottom third, if we were to divide that in half, that will show us where to draw the lips, where that goes on the face. Maria, you can get one of the packets here. It's over there. It has these images on the front. So now looking at this image down here, this basically just puts it all together. On this image, I actually added this big square because I wanted to show you the top of the head. So if you just draw onto this, there's the top of the head. And then down the middle, down to the chin and the top of the head, right in between that, that's where the eyes go. So if you need to write like a half here and a half here to help you out, that might be a good idea. You need to get one of these packets. There's some of them on that supply table. Now I'm going to look at, so that shows where the eyes go. If you need to write eyes, that could help you. Or maybe I'll write them over here where I put the halves. Eyes go right in the middle of the head. Tippy top of the head to the chin. Okay, next we're going to look at the next biggest rectangle. See where it lines up with the hairline? If you need a right hairline to help you out, you can. Oops, not hairline, it's just the hairline. That's where the hair starts to grow on the head. Okay, and these are thirds. These sections here, 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. And then this last one is divided into half, 1/2, 1/2. So here are the brows. This is where the brows grow, or the brow ridge. And then here is the nose, where that kind of stops. And then the chin. So we learned that the distance between the hairline and the brows, and the distance between the brows and the nose, and the distance between the nose and the chin should all be the same. So if I were to take my pencil and mark where that distance is, keep my finger there, and then bring it down, that should be the same. And if I were to take my finger again and bring it down, oops, right there, that should also be the same. Okay, these next line, oh wait, in this bottom section here, if we were to divide that in half, like 1/2, 1/2, that shows us where the lips go. The bottom lip, the bottom of the bottom lip, that shows us where that lines up right there. Now these horizontal lines here in the tear ducts, if you put a horizontal line down, that shows us how big to make the nose, like how wide to make it. And then going from the middle of the eyes down, that shows us how big to make the mouth. So you have to kind of compare. Does the mouth extend past the middle of the eyes, or is it right there on the line, or is it a bit inside? In this image here, the mouth is kind of a little bit inside of where the eyes are. Okay, so now let's begin drawing and putting it all together. I'm going to move to a marker so I can show you. So I'm going to make some little marks, some reference points to help me out here. This got a little bit blurred out in the printer, but I'm going to mark where the tippy top, very top of the forehead is. And you don't have to outline all of it if you can see it okay, but could just help a little bit. So here is the top of the head. Next we want to make a mark where the hairline goes. So the hairline is just a little bit from the top of the head. If you want to put it here above this plane, kind of this hard edge right here, you can. I'm going to put mine a little bit above though, because I think that's a bit more realistic. So I'm going to write HL for hairline right there. And then I'm also going to indicate or think about where the chin gets placed. If you can't see that, I just put like a little black line on the bottom of the chin. And I'm also going to put a little black line where the bottom of the lip is. And then maybe like inside that tip of the nose. Okay. I'm also going to put a line directly through the eyeball. Like right where the pupil would be facing forward. I'm going to put a line through there. And then finally, I'm going to make a line of symmetry going from the top of the head, down the middle of the nose, down the middle of the lips, down to the chin. Okay, notice how the eyes go right in the middle of that line I put from the top of the head to the chin. If I measure up here and then go down here, it should be the same. Same measurements. Top of the head to the eyes to the chin. Same space. Okay, now we're going to begin to draw this. To begin drawing, I like to start with a circle, but our heads are basically just an upside down egg shape. Everyone's head shape is a little bit different, but Basically, and what I see here, it's an upside down egg. So like I was saying, I kind of like to start with a circle. I can move my hand around the head just to get a good indication of like the shape of it or the size of it. And then go over here, use my whole arm to make a big circle. And it was just like a bunch of imperfect circles that I just drew, but there's a perfect circle kind of in there. And then after that, I'm going to turn it into my upside down egg. So I'm extending that down, making the jaw line and the chin. And it should look, if I were to turn it right side up, it looks kind of like an egg. Okay, now we're going to do some lines of symmetry. We're going to find the middle of that top of the egg and do a line going straight down the middle. Now something that can help you actually is if you erase this circle line that we made, we actually don't need that anymore. So I'm erasing that bottom half of that circle that we made in the beginning because we don't need it anymore. You know, actually will just kind of be a distraction. Because next we need to make the line for the eyes. The eyes go from the tippy top of the head to the chin, and the eyes go right in the middle. So you're going to look at this line of symmetry that we made and find the middle. Something that might help you is to like take your fingers and glide them towards the center of the line so that you can find the middle. Or you can make a line that you think is in the middle, then use your pencil to check. So I'm measuring with my pencil, checking there, checking up there. I think I made it a little bit too low. I'm going to adjust and raise it up a little bit further a little bit higher. Okay, try that again. Okay, that was better this time. Here, look up at the screen. See how the tip of the pencil to my fingernail is the same here, and then it's the same here. I'm able to reach the tippy top of the head, and then I'm able to reach the very bottom of the chin. It's the same distance. So that's all done. So now we have the eyes figured out. Nice, those are done. Now we need to figure out where the rest of everything goes. So we're going to do the hairline next because we need that to do those third sections. So I'm going to put a line here. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and make a big line going here to the right. This is the hairline, or HL for hairline. Just like those boxes on that front page, like this. Sorry, like this. We can make boxes on our drawing too, to help us get everything sorted out. So that's why I'm doing this right here. Because like this curved line is a little bit harder and disorientating, we can make some boxes to help us out. So now we need to take the distance from the hairline to the chin, and we need to divide that up into 3 sections, 3 even sections. So now that we know kind of where the eyes go, I'm going to erase that a little bit. Because now I need to think about dividing the hairline to the brow, and then the brow to the nose, and then the nose to the chin. Dividing that into 3 even sections. And that wasn't quite right, so I think I need a little bit more space here and here. Okay, I'm going to take my pencil Measure that section, this section, this section, and I think I got it. So what I have here is the brows. We already did the line for the eyes earlier. The eyes kind of fit in here. And then now I have the line for the nose and then the chin. So the tip of the nose goes like right here, brows go up here, and now we're gonna skip to the eyes. So if you missed that, I took the distance from the hairline to the chin and I divided it up into thirds. 1 out of 3, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 3. They should be equally distanced in 3 sections. Okay, now we're going to place the eyes. The eyes need to go halfway between the top of the head to the chin. And we've already did that part. So now we're just going to like make circles where the eyes are supposed to go. So I'm going to go here to my reference drawing and just get a good feel for how big the eye is. Because a common mistake is to make the eyes too big. So that's how big the eye is. Let me go over here and just get a good feel for how big those are supposed to be. And we should be able to fit 3 eyes that are the same size across the head. So like 1 eye in the middle, and that cross section in the middle. 1 eye on the left, 1 eye on the right. Three eyes that are about the same size. So now that we kind of know where the brows are supposed to be, let's go ahead and draw the brow ridge here. I'm looking at the reference picture here and copying the shapes and angles of where the brows need to go. And then we should be able to know where the nose goes. It goes like right here. Okay, now where do we put the lips? The lips go into this bottom third section. In between the nose and the chin, I'm making this big box here. That's so that I can divide it in half. So this bottom third box, I'm separating that in half. And the lips, the bottom lip rests right there on that half line. Okay, and then the part of the lips goes above that. And that's where that goes. If I take the middle of the eyes facing forward, that will show me how wide the lip should be. The corner of the lip should go right underneath the eyeballs, the middle of the eyes. And then there's kind of a chin right here. Okay, now about the ears. I'm going to erase a few things away. I have a drawing here that still has all the measurements that you can look at later. But this is getting kind of turning into a mess. So I'm going to erase some things, get it out of the way. And I'm going to take that line that I drew for the eyes and bring it all the way across the face. The face should be symmetrical. There should be some gap here between the edge of the face and the eye, the edge of the face and the eye. Should be all very symmetrical. So now about the ears, and this is true for everybody. Everyone's ears peek up a little bit above your eyes. So like that tip of your ear that you can like snip off with scissors, if you really wanted to. They just go up a little bit above your eyes. So I'm looking at the reference here. You see just kind of this mound of flesh, the tip of the ears right there. Okay, that goes a little bit above the eyes. So I put that line there, eyes going across the face. And then it looks like it ends kind of by the nose, a little bit above the nose. So a little bit of flesh above the eyes. And then just try to make the ears symmetrical after that. Then you kind of have this curve showing the top skin of the ear, and then some shadow showing the ear holes and the folds of the ears. So that's where the ears get placed. Like that cusp, that tip of the ear goes just above the eyes. Now about the neck. The neck on our reference photo is pretty angular, so I'm going to make it a little more angular here too. Our neck is about the same width as the head, just a little bit smaller. We don't have little pencil necks like cartoon characters or little noodle necks. People's necks are a bit thicker than you think. So I'm just taking that jawbone, or that kind of angle of that jaw, and going in just a little bit. And then that is where we place the neck. Then if you want to add some shoulders, you can. And you're going to keep drawing and shading and tweaking things around until you have it all shaded and good like this. You can feel free to erase as you go. Like all those lines that we just put, you can erase them and begin shading.